back, everyone. It is so good to see you. Today I am bringing you 4 of my fall ready crock pot dinner ideas. You're not going to believe these. I'm Catherine with Catherine's Plates, where it's always simply delicious, so make sure that you give me a thumbs up along the way on one of your favorites. We're going to start off with chicken cordon bleu in the crock pot. Y'all, this one is delicious and so easy. So you ready? Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is spray the inside of our crock pot because we're going to be having stuffing in here. We don't want it to stick. Okay, now we're going to put in our soups. You're going to need 20 ounces or so of some cream of chicken soup, or you can even go like cream of celery, cream of mushroom. All right, so you're going to put that into the bottom of your crock pot. All right, I'm going to add half a cup of milk. Now, melted 1 stick of butter, and that's about half a cup. I'm going to add some pepper. I'm not going to put any salt in right now. I'm going to use the salt right here to kind of season the chicken with. Now, I've got some onion powder. We are really going to flavor this up, you guys. I've got some garlic powder. This stuff always smells good. Anytime you start seasoning stuff, oh my gosh. All right, got some paprika. It's going to add some color and a nice flavor, smoky flavor. Okay, let's go ahead and mix this up here before we add our stuffing. This is just a cornbread stuffing, and it has toasted cornbread blended with seasonings. So it's going to be really good. We're going to add about 6 ounces to this, which is going to be about half of this bag. Mix that well. Now what we're going to do, place our chicken right on top of the stuffing mixture. And I've got about maybe 2 pounds of chicken here. Just 3 big chicken breasts that I just whopped in half. So I'm just going to kind of push it into the dressing because that dressing will flavor this chicken. All right, what you want to do now is season your chicken. I'm just going to do it with some pepper. Just a little bit of salt, you guys, that's it. Garlic powder. Onion powder. And some paprika. Same flavor profile here. Okay, I've got some ham here. This is a great profile for cordon bleu chicken. So what I'm going to do is take each piece and just kind of roll it and place it on the chicken. Now I'm using a Black Forest ham, so you can use any kind of ham you want. And I just get this out of the deli section. Now I've got some Swiss cheese, and these are the slices, so I'm just going to kind of half these into rectangle shapes and then just place that on top of the ham. Now if you have the shreds, that's totally fine. Just go ahead and sprinkle that all over your ham here. Now if you want to use like a Munster cheese or a mozzarella cheese, whatever you have on hand, if you want to do that also. That's it. We're going to place a lid on. I'm going to cook this on high for 4 to 5 hours or on low for about 8 hours. And what you want to do is check for the doneness of your chicken and make sure it's nice and tender. Okay, if you need to add a little bit more time, go ahead and do that. It smells delicious in there. This morning I've got my crock pot out because I'm going to let it do the work today to make a delicious cheesy chili mac. All right, we're going to go ahead now and put our burner onto a medium-high heat. Now we're going to drizzle in 1 tablespoon of some oil. We're going to get this nice and warmed up so that when we put our peppers and onions in, it starts sizzling because, you know, who doesn't love that sound, right? Okay, so when you cook up peppers and onions, it adds a lot of flavor to anything. You hear that sizzle? That's what you want to hear. Keep the chunks pretty big because it's going to cook in the crock pot for a while and we don't want to lose them, you know, because they will melt down. And we don't want to lose them in there. So, and I did the same thing with the onions. Add a little bit of salt. You want to season your vegetables as we go. And a little bit of pepper. Oh yeah, that's smelling really good. What we're going to do now is add our ground beef. Now I've got about 1.5 pounds here. Now with ground beef, if you want to brown this up and do all of this the night before and just put it in a covered container and then bring it out in the morning and then just place it into your crock pot with everything else, hey, there you go. A nice tip for the day. Alright, after browning up your ground beef, what I did was I drained it and we're going to add it to our crock pot. Okay, we're going to add 14 ounces of diced tomatoes. And we're going to add 4 ounces of diced green chilies. Okay, we're going to place 1 tablespoon of chili powder. Half a teaspoon of some ground cumin. Half a teaspoon of some garlic powder. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And we're going to do the same with the salt here, 1/4 teaspoon, because we're going to check the flavorings here in a little bit, and if we need to add anything, we will. All right, let's go ahead and give this a mix. Now we're going to add 4 cups of beef broth. Mix this all together. All right, what we're going to do now is place our lid on. Now, I'm going to cook this on low for about 5 hours or on high for 3 hours, because at that point we're going to come back and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the pasta and the cheese, because you know, this is cheesy mag. I'll be back. What we're going to do now is about 45 minutes before this is ready, we're going to start adding our pasta. Now, you can think of any kind of pasta. Okay, I'm using a penne pasta here. You can use the macaroni elbow pasta if you'd like. So you're going to put about 10 to 12 ounces. Make sure you stir this and make sure all of the pasta is kind of submerged into the liquid. We're going to put a lid back on it. Now check it at about 30 to 45 minutes, and we're just checking to make sure that that pasta is cooked through. And then we'll be back, and I still need to finish this off because you know this is a cheesy dish. Okay, y'all, 45 minutes. The pasta is cooked. Look at this. Oh my goodness. What we're going to do now is I'm going to add 2 cups of shredded cheese. Now I'm using a cheddar cheese. And 2. So let's go ahead and stir that all in until it's nice and well incorporated. Smells so delicious. That's what's making this Crockpot cheesy chili mac. What did you think of the chili cheese mac? All right, we're going to move on to the Crockpot pepper steak, full of color, deliciousness. Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe the sauce that happens when we make this dish. Let's go. I'm using cube steaks for this recipe today. I've got 4 of them. I want to cut these into 1/4 inch strips. I want these easy for people to eat. Okay, we're going to salt these strips and we're going to pepper. I've got a large skillet over medium-high heat. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of some cooking oil, and my favorite is avocado oil. We're going to let this get nice and hot so that we can get a nice sear on the meat as we put it in. Now I am going to be doing this in batches, so maybe 2 batches or 3 batches. Once each batch gets cooked, I'll just go ahead and place it into the crock pot. Alright, the oil's nice and hot. I'm starting to place my strips into the pan. You want to make sure that you layer these, 1 layer. That way they can brown evenly. We're just going to cook for a few minutes until the meat is nice and browned on one side, and then we're going to flip it over. Going to add our peppers and onions to this. Now I have a red onion, I have a yellow onion, a green bell pepper, and then I have some colored bell peppers, yellow, red, and orange. I'm going to cut these into strips. You want them nice sized strips. They're going to cook in the crock pot for quite a while, so you want to make sure that they don't disintegrate in there. I'm going to place this all into the crock pot. In a small bowl, place half a cup of beef broth, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of minced ginger, half a teaspoon minced garlic. I'm going to blend this all together with a whisk. I'm going to pour my sauce over the peppers, onions, and the steak. All right, we're going to mix everything together so everything is well coated. All right, we're going to place the lid on. We're going to cook this for 8 hours on low or about 5 to 6 hours on high. We're going to make the cornstarch slurry to help thicken things up. I've got 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, half a cup of water. I'm just going to blend this together with a fork. I'm going to go ahead and pour this into my crock pot mixture. Oh, that looks good in there. Look at that. See the purpose of adding those beautiful peppers in there? It adds a nice color. I'm going to add the cornstarch slurry. Give that a mix. Place the lid on, and I'm going to cook this another 10 to 15 minutes until that sauce is nice and thickened. Make sure you place your lid back on. That looks so delicious in there. You know what I'm going to do? Serve this over some rice. All right, what did you think of the pepper steak? I tell you what, it is one of our favorites for sure. So easy to put together, but oh my gosh, it packs a punch. Okay, we're going to end this with Olive Garden's chicken and pasta. Oh gosh, you guys, this one, creamy, dreamy deliciousness and so easy to put together. You ready? Let's go. The first thing that I have here is chicken. Now this is boneless, skinless chicken breasts that are kind of thin here. So it's about 2 pounds. I'm going to place this all into the bottom of my crock pot. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now and salt and pepper the top side of the chicken here and give it some nice flavor. Okay, here's our special ingredient right here. Olive Garden Italian dressing. Now, this is easy to find. I found this one in our local Walmart. So I'm going to measure out 16 ounces here. I'm going to pour that all over the chicken. And it is okay that it is like that, because when you see later what we're going to do, you'll understand why there's a lot of dressing in there. Okay, our next ingredient is going to be 1 block of 8 ounces of cream cheese. Now I just kind of brought this to room temperature, but it doesn't matter at this point. What we're going to do is cut this into small pieces. That way we can scatter it all over the chicken. Okay, I've got some Parmesan cheese here, and we're going to put half a cup in. Go ahead and place your lid on the crock pot. What we're going to do is cook this on high for 4 hours or on low for 6 hours. And then when we come back, there's a few more steps we have to do to finish this off. I'll be back. Okay, 20 minutes before the chicken is done, we're going to bring a big pot of water to a boil, and I'm going to season it with some salt. And I'm just using a penne pasta. This is 16 ounces. And then we're just going to cook these per the directions on the back of the box. Now, while the pasta is cooking here, what we're going to do is shred our chicken. Okay, we're just going to stir this up. And then when the pasta's done, we're going to go ahead and add that. Okay, we're going to put some more Parmesan cheese in, about 1/4 cup. Or a little more. And then we're going to put in some parsley. I've got some dried parsley, or you can use fresh parsley, about a couple of tablespoons. Give it some color. Okay, let's mix this all together. Oh, it smells so good. Cheesy, creamy goodness. And that dressing that we put in here, oh my goodness.
Had a lot of spices in it.
Very delicious. Who's ready for a bite of this?
Bite? I'm ready for a bowl.
Okay, who's ready for a bowl of this? What'd y'all think? Make sure that you give me a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite, which one you gave me a thumbs up for. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. And everyone, make sure that you're hitting that bell notification, that you're always notified when my shows are posted. I will see you on the next episode.